You say I have a hole in my windshield. All right, we're good. Sorry.
To the left. On the bottom.
All right, you ready?
Yeah.
Let's go. Can't wait for this. Can't wait for this one.
Why?
Excited about it.
You thought it was an exciting match?
Man, for me, every match at Wimbledon is exciting, right?
Mm-hmm.
Love it. My favorite tournament of the year, favorite time of the year outside of Christmas.
I don't know that. I would think the first match was exciting.
I like them both.
Not really.
All right, lock in. Let's get down to business. All right, hello and welcome back to another 5K tennis discussion. If this video just randomly cuts out, apologies in advance. We will start a part 2. We hate it when it happens, but it's just part of the deal. Our internet connection here is subpar at times. All right, hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe. We are going to do all of our prize giveaways and fantasy team competitions and $250 giveaways right after this into the U.S. Open. I have thought about doing it for Masters 1000s or Women's Premier tournaments where they're combined, like Cincinnati, Rogers Cup. Well, actually, they play in 2 separate places, Montreal and Toronto, I think. Anyway, but tournaments where the women and men are together in 1000s, like Indian Wells. Blah. All right. Anything that you have for shout-outs, Carla?
No shout-outs.
Anybody you owe a shout-out to?
I mean, just the family that's been here in Dauphin Island from Virginia. You got Evan. I think it's Evan Rice, Elizabeth Rice, and her sister Catherine. And I'll send them the link. They're doing great. They're very enthusiastic about tennis.
Yeah.
They're about our age. They're fit.
Yeah.
And they always bring a smile to my face because, you know, it's good to see a active family.
She's making references to some vacationers that came down from Virginia, actually DC, I think, and Virginia, and have been working out with us all week long.
Absolutely.
All right. By the way, on today's show, we only have a couple of matches. So as we get late into these majors, generally, Carla and I will say, hey, we're going to take any potential comments or topics or questions that you may have for me or Carla personally. Any questions that you have, because we will have a little bit more time today, I think. If there's anything you want to ask us, you know, hey, where are you from, whatever, then we'll take those type of questions. So if there's something you wish to know on a personal level or any topic you want us to discuss, tennis or outside of tennis, let us know. And we'll be happy to entertain that, okay?
Yeah.
All right, first thing to start today's show is I want to give a shout out to Cam Williams. If you don't know who Cam Williams is, he does a really fine job on YouTube commentating and calling matches. So when the gist of us have to work or we have to go out on courts all day and teach and we want to stay in the moment, we put him on the loudspeaker at our courts.
We did today. We were out there 8 a.m. to 12:30 and we heard him the whole time.
Yeah, so yeah, every lesson that would come out, they'd be like, "What? Who is this? Where's this commentary? It's very good. I don't watch tennis, but
I think that he had 2 young lads that were playing next to us.
Good tennis players, yeah.
They were talking about his show, I think.
Yeah,
I heard him say.
Well, yeah, they came out and they're from Arkansas, and one's headed to LSU for college, and they kind of, okay, well, I haven't heard commentary that good, and he would make things like...
Well, they would kind of laugh at his accent.
Yeah,
that's
they were
okay, I
laughing.
love his accent.
So anyway, the shout out is for this, that he has kept us and has for a couple of years now, very involved in matches when otherwise we can't watch. We always record them and come home and watch them, but it's nice to be in the moment.
Absolutely.
All right, shout out to you. Much love, Cam. You do a great job. All right, next thing. I want to give a shout out to everyone that played the fantasy team competition and the tennis racket giveaway competition. After Medvedev lost, there was no winner for the $250, but I'm rolling it over to the U.S. Open. That's happening, and I might add another $50. I might make the U.S. Open pot $300. Sounds pretty good to me. But also to the fantasy team players, a shout out, because it takes some time and some research to make your fantasy teams, and we do have both winners as of now. Okay, we have both winners. So I wanted to take a minute and read out the top five. And 5th place, 4th place, and 3rd place in no particular order. So these guys were really hanging tough. Was Thomas Wilson, Ziliu Wang, and Zest for Life. Okay, by the way, if you're just tuning in for the matches, I'm sorry. But we'll get to that in just a moment, I promise. But these guys did a really good job, and I wanted that to be at the forefront of the show because they do a really good job and they study for this. Zest for Life, Zhou Wang, and Thomas Wilson were third, fourth, fifth in no particular order, okay? All right, and second place was Hunze Qi. Chia. Yeah, so his brother Thomas does our scorekeeping for fantasy along with Dusan in Slovenia. But Hunze Qi came in second place and has won $50. So please make sure, Junsei, please make sure that you get with your parents or whoever. Hopefully they're on the show now. We're trustworthy, whatever. We'll send it to you immediately. We'll do it on the show as we speak. If you have PayPal, if you have Venmo, if you have, what's the other one, Zelle? No, I don't have that, do I?
No, I don't hate that one. PayPal, Venmo.
Just let us know. And
Cash App,
yeah, and we'll do it now.
I'm not going to the Western Union.
Yeah, we're not going to Western Union.
I don't live close to any place that does Western Union, so I'm not doing all that.
Yeah, just download the app.
Yeah.
If you don't have it. Okay, congratulations. But Hunze Qi's team was the following. On the men's side, he had Djokovic, Federer, Tsitsipas, Berrettini, Sonego, Isner, Opelka, Humbert, and Murray. On the women's side, he had Svitolina, Krejcikova, Serena Williams, Kerber, Badosa, Alexandrova, Ons Jabeur, Keys, and Samsonova, and that took him across the finish line for second place. First place, four-time champion. I've mentioned his name before, Casper.
Casper, you know the deal. Send me the email like you always do.
Yeah, he's won this 4 times. We have this down to a habit now with this young man. Fine tennis player. He as well has won merchandise, strings. He's picked every prize before because he's won it all before. But he's won it again. Here's his team. And he was uncatchable since the quarterfinals. He had Djokovic, Federer, Tsitsipas, Zverev, Cilic, Isner, Norrie, Sonego, and Murray. On the women's side, he chose Barty, Serena, Alexandrova, Kasatkina, Kerber, Keys, Kontaveit, Jabeur, and Samsonova. And he dominated with that team. I stopped tallying his points at 70, and second, third, fourth, fifth place, we're barely just getting to 70 now.
What's up, Beyonce 76? He says hello, Justin and Carla. This guy 1000 says Zetsubel is unbeatable. Rami, hello. Sanika, hello. Ryan, hello. Carol, Yinghao, William Spencer, Lee Dog. There's 22 of you guys and only about 9 likes. Let's hit the likes, guys. It's not that hard. Just hit the like button.
Also, if you hear banging in the background, it's because there's workers working on the siding on the house.
Still.
Okay?
Still.
10 months later.
But they got a deadline, so that's why they're banging away.
Yeah, the hurricane that destroyed this house was nearly 11 months ago. And
unbelievable.
They're still working.
Like Nadal says, or like Cam Williams, unbelievable.
All right, we're going to start out with the Ashley Barty match. Let's talk about that. Again, if there's anything you want to ask us on this show, 2 matches we're talking about personally, hey, where'd you meet, whatever, where you're from, feel free and we'll answer that. Don't be shy.
Yeah, Kerber, Barty, both good players. We know Kerber's won quite a few slams. Barty's won one, number 1 in the world. Very consistent player. She didn't play last year because of COVID. But is back on the tour, hasn't gone back home. She can't go back home, so she is playing every tournament she can. She cannot, because once she goes back home, she has to stay there in quarantine, you know? They're still tough over there. So I put here, Kerber, Barty won the first set. She came out banging, right? But she was kind of down the first game, 15-40, and then she figured it out. 1 love, 2 love, 3 love. It just kept going.
Kind of like the
6-3. I put here, Kerber on the defense a lot first set. Serve was weak, balls were short. Barty was more aggressive, came to the net every opportunity she had to end the point. She plays a lot of doubles. I put Medvedev could learn from her. Kerber's forehand is weak, hits too open, not enough rotation, which makes her ball short.
Can you elaborate more on jumping a little bit when she hits or not enough rotation?
Well, she's
what
a
do
lefty,
you mean by
she's a lefty, so every time she hits the ball, instead of rotating and coming around, so I'm a righty, you have to come around.
You can demonstrate, right?
Ryan, this one's a good lesson for you. You're out there. Ryan, she hits the forehand like you do. You can't do that. because the balls end up short.
But explain.
Okay, so if I'm playing, right, she opens up, she's already open, which means that, well, you're not going to have much direction there. You can't go right, really, you can't go left. You kind of have to let the racket go. And in other words, her shots are readable because she's open. Barty can read them at her level. You know, you can see where the person, if you turn, you can disguise if you're going down the line or if you're going cross court. She doesn't disguise the shot. And because she doesn't get enough rotation, the balls are short. She doesn't get enough depth on her shots. Whereas if you watch Barty, when she hits, she's turned, she's coming around all the way. Now her ball has a lot of spin, right? Kerber, she jumps on it, which is another negative. So she's hitting, jumping, so now the ball is even shorter.
Right.
It just wasn't good at the first set. Everything was short. Barty was picking at it. She was slicing, she was hitting corners. When she'd have her in the run, she would come in, put the ball away. It was too short. She knew her shots were short, so she can come in and cut it.
Agree. The lack of rotation. In other words, when we get set to hit the ball, if you're my opponent and you see me get the set to hit the ball and all you see is my shoulder, right? Or if you see a little bit of my chest, right, on my non-hitting hand, then I'm not rotating as much as I could be. So in the context of tennis, let's look at waist up in a way, the stance on the forehand, open, close, you know, tit for tat. I won't debate that here. But we put these let's goes on the back of our shirts. So I don't know if they can see that, but on the back of our shirts, we have usually something, let's go, come on, our little tags, right? And we ask students when they come to us, and they can't figure out how to add depth or add more control or add more power. They ask us, well, what's going on, right? So we talk about getting set, and I ask them, or we will ask them, can you see the let's go on the back of my shirt when you hit? Yeah. Well, I want to see it on yours because I don't see it. And Kerber was a prime example of that today. Now she's won 3 majors, so at one point in time she was getting it done. But it seems to me after a 9 or 10 match run that her freshness and hitting freely and moving freely ran out a little bit. Right? She got hot early in the second set, got up, and Barty just hung tough and defended, and then fought back and took what?
Well, the reason why I think she lost the second set is here. She's missing. Barty decided to keep attacking her backhand, Kerber's backhand. They kept doing the cross court to cross court. Well, you're battling a forehand. If you're a lefty, it's a backhand. The forehand's going to win that battle. She kept capitalizing that. Barty, she kept pulling her out more and more, which made Kerber's backhand shorter and shorter and shorter, and forcing her to hit a better shot. The serve, again, I always say it, I don't get how a pro gets away with a weak second serve. You must have a serve. You must have some type of what do we call the second serve? I completely blanked out. You have a good first serve. Second serve is a
push?
Not a push. What do we teach? Jeez, I can't remember.
What, a kick serve?
A kick serve.
Oh.
No one taught her how to develop a kick serve because she just spins it in there. And it was working against her today. It wasn't working against a player who is consistent, who has patience. Barty's not going to blow you off the court, but she knows how to hit her angles. She's a smart player. She's reading your racket. To me, she should win Wimbledon, She's got the game for Wimbledon.
I agree totally.
Yeah.
Barty is my current favorite player in all of tennis as of now. I'm not saying she's better than Djokovic. Follow me on this one. I think she's my favorite player to watch. How about that?
Yeah.
She's my favorite player to watch in all of tennis, spanning the men's and the women's side currently. I don't like grunting or screeching, and she does not do that. Court conduct. How big am I over the span of this show, 3 years? How big am I at the court meeting students, and when they walk on my court after they know me, how much emphasis do I place on court conduct? How you carry yourself? What kind of poise you have? Do you run around shooting F-bombs every time you miss a shot? Do you go, run, come on, all the time?
That was Chris yesterday.
Yeah, and this is something that she doesn't do. I personally find any player on tour, I don't care if it is Federer, I don't care if it's Djokovic, I don't care if it's Sabalenka, I don't care who it is. But after someone wins a point or a tournament and they go, roar, come on, I don't see the need for it. This isn't WWF wrestling; it's tennis. Anyway, I won't go there. But Barty does not do any of this. She is to me like watching Federer when Federer was doing his thing.
Very calm player, very peaceful to watch her. It's almost, she's very comfortable out there. She's very confident. You can see it. Good for her. I'll read some comments. Spicy Salami said, Barty isn't anything spectacular to watch, but she's so consistently good, which is what everyone else lacks nowadays. Consistency. This guy said, Barty could improve her drive backhand. Yeah, she could. This guy...
sorry to interject. Barty sliced the ball 69% of the time on her backhand side throughout the past 2 matches. Sorry.
I don't care if you interrupt.
I didn't mean to. Read the comments.
This guy 1000 said Barty's 5'5", but has an awesome serve, the best in WTA. I mean, her serve kind of reminds me of Hennen's serve. Hennen had a great serve at 5'5" as well. They would get a lot of height. They would elevate and reach up for the ball, and they kept, I used to watch Hennen serve a lot. She would keep her left hand up as long as it could. You watch a lot of players drop their left hand quickly. She would keep up and go up for it, which is what Barty does. Ryan Mason said Barty has more effective serve, hit 8 aces, won 88% first serve points. Kerber only 64% first serve points, and totally agree, Carla. Great point for my forehand and Kerber. This guy said disastrous tiebreak for Kerber.
She got down 6-0, I think. Didn't Barty have 6 match points up 6-0 in the breaker in the final set?
Mm-hmm.
Or in the second set?
B-Dog says, I guess Barty's one of his favorites next to Osaka. Spicy Salami said Barty versus Pliskova.
B-Dog said that was her favorite besides?
Yeah.
Okay.
Spicy Salami said Barty versus Pliskova will be the quietest final ever. Thank God. Thank the tennis gods. I don't have to hear Sabalenka screeching. Adobe says, sorry if I'm Barty boring to watch. I hate the slicing.
Yeah, fair enough. It's okay.
Yeah, that's okay. I get it. You probably did not enjoy watching tennis in the 80s, and he probably didn't enjoy, or she didn't.
No, he's just...
Well, slicing is part of...
He's probably more a fan of Sabalenka type players.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Okay.
He probably...
Fair enough, like Serena type players.
There's nothing wrong with that. That's what I'm saying. You probably didn't enjoy Steffi Graf's game because she sliced a lot, or Martina, she sliced a lot. There's people that don't enjoy that. I get it.
It's okay.
Totally get it. And I think I said this at the Australian Open. I wish that Barty would hit her backhand a lot more.
Yeah, when I was a boy, I'm a one-handed player, backhand side, and when I was a boy, starting very young, I would slice the ball a lot, especially when on the run. Mm-hmm. And my father used to get so mad. I almost started cursing there, but he would get really upset. Fast forward until a couple of years ago, Carla and I were playing some points while he was here. This was a couple of years ago. So recently he's 82, so he was definitely around 80. And we were playing points, and I was slicing the ball, and I was 40 then, and he's 80 then, and he's like, hit your top spin backhand. So I get it. My dad gets it. A lot of people get it. But I think it's important to have variety. But like I said, Barty...
it's effective. It's working.
She has an effective slice.
It's like you said, Carla, it's hard to understand how Barty can slice so much but be successful. But
she keeps it low.
It must make her opponents uncomfortable.
Okay.
Yes, because it slows down everything.
Barty keeps it inherently low, right? So she's able to keep the ball low. Well, why is this difficult? With backspin, when backspin hits the surface, okay, it doesn't bounce up. It kind of bites and then kind of keeps carrying it on the same trajectory. So it's really hard to get underneath it. Okay, think about here. This is the ground where my hand is. This is the ground, okay? The ball is going to come over and kind of not skid. It's going to get up a little bit. But if I'm trying to hit topspin, I can't because my racket's going to be on the ground, right? I can't. You get what I'm saying? Ground up. I want to hit topspin. The ball is low. I can't get it off the ground that way. I'm just going to hit it right back in the ground, scratch my racket. So we're forced to get under it and push it up. Okay, so we're giving the opponent 2 options. We're giving the opponent an option to slice it back. If usually in a really defensive situation, slice it back, which allows the other person to come in and put the ball away. Or 2, it allows the person an opportunity to make a high-risk shot by using that low slice, catching it off the ground, and hitting topspin. So she's staying in the point strategically, But she's also giving them an opportunity to go ahead and reverse the spin and go top spin.
It's gonna work. It's gonna work against a flat ball hitter,
Yeah,
which is
Sabalenka.
no, which is also who's in the final.
Pliskova.
It's gonna work against her
Yeah.
really well because flat players can't hit that ball.
It's tough.
They can't hit it. It's gonna go in the net. So that you're gonna see guys get ready. Mostly slice. Why does she need to hit a backhand when she could just slice her way to the championship?
Yeah, there's the old saying, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah.
Barty sliced the ball 69% of the time.
She's gonna
in the
have
past
to
couple of
slice.
matches, and she's in the final.
She's gonna have to slice against Pliskova because a player like Sabalenka does hit topspin, but she doesn't know how to slow down. She hits everything, so it's gonna go in the net or out.
Yeah.
Someone like Pliskova has all flat shots. Very effective.
She hits big. Now, what better way than to give someone another ball to hit, number one? What better way than to give someone like Pliskova or Sabalenka or Serena, give them another ball that they can tee off on, because eventually a big hitter is going to miss. We were teaching Kara today. She's a young girl that I never really knew someone was in her ear for these past couple of years saying he wanted her to be a big hitter, and I kind of bowed out on that aspect of her game at this point. You've noticed that, right? But I don't feel like big hitting is the key to championships. I think it's important to be able to hit the ball big when necessary, but I think spot hitting, building points, putting together points, and then taking the shot when you have the window, I think that's a better recipe for champions.
Absolutely. Look, it's proven that, I'm sorry, but for anyone out there that thinks like Djokovic smokes the ball, he doesn't. He's a smart player. He's a consistent player. There is really nothing there going.
Yeah.
It's more like everything coming back with some type of underspin, spin, slice, drop. Watch him play. He's not playing super aggressive tennis. He's playing smart tennis.
Yeah,
You know?
and look, and you watch right now the best in the business, right now with Djokovic. You watch when he plays. If he needs to hit the ball big, he'll strike the ball big. But if he doesn't, if it's an open court, he'll just roll it to where it needs to go. He's going to conserve energy. If he needs to play lights out, he will. If he needs to create a super acute or obtuse angle, he will do that. He'll defend and he'll stand his ground. And if he's down 2-0, like he was in this tournament, right? Mm-hmm. Then it's okay, because they're going to have to keep that level up through the entire roll. And big hitters, if they are hitting their spots, how long will it last, right? Sabalenka came out hot. I think she has acing left and right. She had a couple of aces in the first game. And, Pliskova just kind of remained steady. She remains on-ish. Wait, by the way, Pliskova let out some come-ons today. She let out a couple of them. Come on! I was like, what? You saw him, right?
And then Sasha Bajin with his outfit, with his hair well done. Yeah. I don't know which guy's worse, Patrick Montaglu or him. Which one do you think is more silky?
Well, I like Montaglu.
You think Bajin is more silky? The hair's a lot more silky to the right.
The only reason
perfectly combed, and then the part.
The only reason why I don't particularly care too much for Sasha Bajin, nothing personal, obviously, but do you all remember when they started allowing women's tennis to be coached from the sidelines? I don't think it's allowed in the majors, it's not, but I think in certain tournaments, like women's premiers, which is the synonym of the 1000s for the men, isn't. Don't they allow coaching there? There's some tournaments where it's permissible. Okay, so when this rule happened, which I don't like, I think it's stupid. I'm not a proponent of coaching on the sideline, right? At all, at any context. But when that was okay, every time that one of Sasha Bajin's players would be playing, he would always make it a point to get right in front of the camera and go, okay, and do his thing. It almost seems like he loved taking the center stage. And I always think that in coaching you should be more humble. And it seemed to me he would always pop up in front of the camera with this spray tan or whatever, perfectly done hair, and he would just pop up. So it almost seemed to me that when he would do this, it was more self-interested and not necessarily for the player. Now Moratoglu. Now look, Moratoglu, I've never seen him come down on the court and coach Serena or anybody else, but he does get a lot of camera time in whatever box he is in, and he pops up in everybody's box. That's why I call him Jack in the Box. Patrick Mouratoglou will pop up on every live tennis tournament on someone's box. Like,
hey,
damn.
Patrick, you can pop up in this box if you want, and you can teach my kids if you want.
Let's go,
for free,
bro.
For free.
Let's get it done. But anyway, I've never seen Mouratoglou self-interested and go down on the court and simply have makeup on, literally, to model in the camera. Mouratoglou, it's not his fault he's a handsome
William
man.
Spencer said, "Excuse me a second while I go WD-40 my hair and smile
Exactly.
at myself and my gun show in the mirror."
That's exactly right. Comment of the day so far, WD-40
I know,
my
how does
hair.
he get his hair so perfectly combed and so smooth? I don't get it. It's like perfect. It's just perfect. And the tan. I mean, he's not Spanish at all. So how does he get golden brown?
The secret is WD-40. He just said it. WD-40 is the one-shot wonder for Sasha Bajin's hair. Coin it. But yeah, that's the thing. Mouratoglou is just in the stands, and cameras focus on him. Okay, he's a handsome young man. He dated Serena Williams. By the way, did you know that Patrick Mouratoglou and Serena Williams used to walk down the street
You said this a million times.
with their hands in their back pockets? Have you seen this?
Who had the bigger ass?
Oh, that's gone without saying. That's gone without saying. But Sasha Bajin would flood to the camera, and he would act like he didn't know it was in his face, like right here. But you could tell he was like, "Yeah, you okay?" And his hair's all perfect. Mouratoglou doesn't do that.
Ryan said Mouratoglou was at Walmart early on the cereal aisle. Just pops up everywhere.
Yeah.
Guy.
Jack in the box.
Jack in the box.
But it's not his fault.
No,
Because he's in the box. Bajin had to run down and take the opportunity of the camera being there by calling.
Maybe that was Osaka's problem, that he was better looking than her.
It's possible.
You know, she didn't like that. He was getting more attention than her, and she's like, not fair, not fair. I don't like that. Anyways.
All right. So.
Fionsky76 said Bajin gave a side glance at the camera when Carolyn won. I'm sure.
Yeah.
Fionsky76 said maybe Bajin uses spray tan, laugh out loud. Maybe.
And WD-40.
And WD-40, maybe he rubs it, you know.
Yeah, and WD-40.
Jose P said, is he the best coach or just has the most connections? I don't know. If Pliskova wins, then he will prove people wrong. Because that would be 2 students that he's taken to Grand Slam championship. Yeah, don't you think if Pliskova wins Wimbledon, then you would have to question and ask yourself, well, he might be a good coach because he took Osaka to several slams, and now Pliskova, who could never win a slam, finally wins one. You would have to question that.
Yeah, Jose P has a good point here, and let's use college, like university students in colleges as an example. He mentions that, is he the best coach or does he have the most networks or connections? This is the same thing at university levels for a lot of doctors and attorneys and future businessmen. They go to college and they just slide by. The grades are a little rocky. They're not the best student in the world, and then they get into graduate school by the skin of their teeth. They're not the best students in the world, and then they go into their PhD or doctorate program. They're still not the best students in the world. There's a lot of people better. But because that person has connections to this doctor there, or they used to party with this guy there, or you were in the same fraternity or whatever, then that person gets the position over thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of people internationally that are better qualified for that position. And I think this goes without saying. Now, Carla, we have talked about this for 3 years on this show. How many tennis players are only...
This guy, we already talked about the match. I mean, we talked about Barty and Kerber. We'll get to the next match.
Okay, let me finish the thought. Don't particularly care.
Yeah.
But how many pro players in the world right now would not be there or would be there if it weren't for connections that they had? Parents, whatever.
Many.
It's like we say, Carla and I have been around players our entire lives since we were very young that could very have well been holding major trophies at will. But they never had the lightning strike of opportunity because they didn't come from nothing. They didn't meet the right people. Their mom didn't have a car. They had to walk to school. They had to take the subway like Carla did. And it just doesn't work out for them. So there is a whole lot of networking involved in being the best, in my personal opinion.
Yeah. Ryan Mason said, wasn't he Serena Williams' hitting partner when she was hitting a lot before Naomi Osaka? Yeah, he definitely, that connection there helped him get into the coaching field. So, I mean, sometimes you just need a little opportunity, and he got Osaka, someone who was in the tour, probably not one of the best yet, but she became the best.
Hence the old saying, never pass up an opportunity, right? Because you never know, that might be your only opportunity, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
William Spencer says, anyone else find it weird many coaches are more pretty/ripped than their players? Ons, for one, makes me laugh when you see the player out of shape and the camera pans on over the coach flexing.
Now, do you know how this even makes a better statement, a better hypothesis? Do you ever notice that sometimes there's parents in way better shape than their children? I'm not gonna look. This is a great topic. Maybe we should do a separate video so we don't bore people with our fitness concerns and our parenting.
That's okay. There's only two matches today. Like, what more can you talk about? Really, 2 matches.
Who?
I mean, I'm just saying we're allowed to talk about whatever we want to talk about.
Yeah, this is okay.
Yeah.
Then tune out. It doesn't matter. Okay. Anyway, but parenting is an issue when I see a very fit couple or a very fit mother or father, and then their son rolls up or daughter rolls up and they're 350 pounds with a Snickers bar in their hand. That's the same type of premise here. I agree with you. That's a wonderful comment. Great thought process on that. Yes. It's kind of odd when you have someone like Jabeur who is not, super obese or anything. She could be in better shape. And then a coach in better shape. I think the coach should be a role model, like someone that she should look to get that in better shape. But even more important to the thoughts is children that have in shape parents when their child is 300 pounds. And by the way, I know a lot of kids like this, and it's sad.
Adam Garcia said they should ban yanking over a certain level. Azarenka, Sabalenka, plus all the Spanish guys. Ban yanking over a certain level? You mean screeching?
Oh, grunting, yeah.
Grunting, yeah.
If so, yes. There's some grunts, by the way, which are delayed. And the rule books.
That was awful to watch. The Pliskova match.
Yeah.
Honestly, to me, from the moment she started the match, she's screaming. Ah! 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 I'm like, what?
Look.
I'm like, do we have to hear this match? I'm like, fast forward. Ah! I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, this is.
All right. And the rule books of tennis, let's put ourselves in doubles for a second, okay? If I'm playing doubles and I have a team over there, doubles partners communicate, right? I say, let it go, bounce it, switch, whatever. There are certain things you can say before the ball crosses your net and the ball has been struck, and certain things when not, right? Like if I'm playing doubles and I hit the ball, and Carla's my teammate, and I hit the ball to my opponents, and after my ball leaves my rackets, I say, hey Carla, you switch, I switch. I can't do that because it's a hindrance to them. I'm talking during their impact, right? So, but what I can do is I can tell Carla prior to hitting the ball, I can go after a ball, switch, because I haven't gotten there yet. I hit the ball and then we switch and everything's good. Now, there's some players that have a delayed screech or grunt, and a grunt that goes through the opponent's impact, which should be a hindrance. So let me put it in perspective. If I hit a ball like Sabalenka, I hit the ball. I wail like, here, let me give her some justice. Whatever freaking hideous sound she makes. It goes over there and it's still ringing off the stadium walls when the opponent is still hitting. So it should be a hindrance.
Definitely.
And I think there should be some light shed on that.
Definitely. Jose P says you do the best Sabalenka impression.
It's freaking awful.
LS Fire says, well, it's not like it helps a car. You go all the way being ripped. Laugh out loud. I agree.
Exactly.
She's too ripped. You have to have some flexibility in your body. Adam Gardia said, but the Kvitova roar isn't that bad because it's max 2 times per match, and she does it when there's a winner, not UFE Collins screams where there's a double fault.
Okay,
that's right.
now
She's like, come on! Yeah.
So is he saying that he has seen Danielle Collins say "come on" when his opponent double faulted?
Yes, I have seen that too.
You've seen this?
Yes, we've talked about it.
All right, I don't like Danielle Collins anymore. Not that I did anyway. I thought she was snooty and kind of, I won't say the B word, but I thought she was B word itchy. Okay. But yeah, you don't say "come on" when an opponent double faults. That shows you are a really shallow human being. I'd never really have cared for Collins in the first place, outside of she won 2 national championships in college when the University of Florida wrote her off, and then she went to Virginia and did it. But nonetheless, if you say "come on" when someone else double faults, you're a schmuck.
Ryan Mason says Sabalenka needs to get the thumbtack out of her foot. It will help her screaming so much. Carol Wakoviak says, enjoy match, just put on mute. Sorry for all the supporters watching the match.
Exactly. Great comment.
Fiansky76 said, even not even Martina Navratilova, who was commenting, observed Sabalenka's grunting was increasing in volume.
Yeah.
William Spencer says Sabalenka screaming isn't suitable for the court. Hell, I wouldn't want to hear it in any other place either.
Yeah, it's hideous. And during the commentary, by the way, and we were watching this one on the tennis channel. No, it was ESPN, I think. But even one of the commentators, and I didn't catch his name, a middle-aged or older gentleman, it wasn't Fowler, it was someone else, and even the commentator on ESPN was like, okay, the first point happened, Sabalenka just aced the ball, but she didn't grunt or squeal on that. Hopefully it remains that way, and it changed relatively quickly.
Ellis Fire says, I think it's worse when the crowd cheers the double faults. I agree. Jose P said, when players grunt during slices. Oh my gosh. Fiansky76 said, thank goodness Pliskova won and we could all enjoy a screechless final. That's what I'm talking about. Pam Carter said, did you notice the handshake between Pliskova and Sabalenka was quite cold, bad blood between them? As a matter of fact, I wrote here Beto's comment. Sabalenka, he says, Sabalenka is such a snob when she loses. No handshake, racket tap, dismissive, just sad. I've never liked Sabalenka. To me, she's a big B. Has no manners on the court, grunts all the time, thinks that her shit don't stink. Her game is not enjoyable to watch. She's not a nice person. She's got too much grease in her hair. Someone needs to tell her to fix her hair, brush it, fix it, put it in a ponytail or something. She just looks hideous to me.
Do you think Sabalenka could use some of this trusty WD-40 in her hair?
She doesn't need anymore.
You think Sasha Bajin and Sabalenka should roll up to the same barber?
She doesn't need anymore.
Gotta use the trusty WD-40.
Guafi said, what do you think of Osaka's suggestion of permitting number of sick days to skip media? I'm late to the live stream, so ignore me if you already discussed it. Sick days to the media. Man, Osaka just needs to stop.
Hey, look, this is a pretty darn good idea, though.
Oh, yeah.
You know, you give the athletes sick days. This makes sense. I've never heard this before. Do you remember who said this? Who am I talking to? I don't know.
This is Guafi.
This is a really good idea. Because if I go to work one day,
Osaka suggested that permitting a number of 6 days to skip the media.
That could be okay. I don't believe you should have anything like that when you're making the type of money that you are, at least the majority of you. But those people outside of the top don't get any coverage anyway, so they're not stressed out about it because there's no one in the room to ask questions, right? But anyway, so if we go to work, we get a certain amount of sick days, and yes, doing interviews, especially when you're top of the world, number 1 in the world or 3 in the world or whatever Osaka is, she should do that. So if it's part of the job, maybe give her a sick day or 2. Okay, I can get that.
Yeah.
I can get that.
So this guy says, very strong Sabalenka agenda there, Carla. Michael Walker says, Carla, please tell us how you really feel. I just never liked Sabalenka. I'm sorry. You can't tell me that as her opponent, you don't want to smack that girl. And she's freaking screaming every time you hit a shot. Would you find that enjoyable to play a tennis match?
Can I ask you a question, Carla?
What?
If somehow we could reach out to Arena Sabalenka and we could arrange a boxing match, 3 rounds, would you do it?
Hell yeah. I'd kick her ass. I'd kick her whole ass. She's 6 feet. I kick her.
Can we schedule this match up?
I might kick her in between because she could be a man. Just saying.
Hey guys, let's find out the time. What's the time stamp on that? Find out what the time stamp is. Paste it.
I'll kick her right in the middle. Just saying, because she could be a... She's awful. Like they were bringing, Pliskova's a zombie, right? Has no emotions.
First time ever fight arranged right here between Carla and Sabalenka.
I'm just saying.
Timestamp that. Come on, we got everybody out there. B-Dog, all you Brian Mason.
The 2 ladies.
Timestamp it. Put it on our Instagram page.
Justin,
message. Listen, I got boxing gloves. We can do it at a gym. We can televise this deal. I want in and I want odds on this action.
Look, they're walking out on center court, right? Wearing their white. Here comes Sabalenka. With her hair. Here, let me do this.
What would your theme song be?
Here, let me do her hair.
Would you come out like Rocky?
Hold on. Here's her hair.
Boom, boom.
Here's her bun. It's not even, at least Pliskova has a nice straight hair bun, right?
She's talking about buns?
Here's her hair.
She's jealous.
Greasy ass shit. Here.
That looks pretty good, Carla.
Greasy. Ah! With her dress, with no. It's just like, meh.
Hey, I was looking for a thumbnail for Sabalenka today for our YouTube, the thumbnail that you put on videos. I could not find one picture without her doing this.
It's all the time. Not only that, you know what? I've never really seen her handshake, give her hand to anyone. She's always like,
Racket tap.
She's such a,
Racket tap. But look, can we please make some progress on this? She just called out Sabalenka in a boxing match. Can we? Can we please?
I kick her butt, New York style.
See this? Okay, this is a prize fight. Can you imagine the implications of this if we can get this done?
Man.
Come on, man.
Everything's a grunt. Then she looks at her coach. I'm like, I'm glad Pliskova beat her. I knew it was going to go to 3 sets. I knew it.
Don't her and her coach have some kind of...
No, it's a different coach.
Oh, good for her.
Yeah.
You know, Medvedev's coach looked like the Hobbit.
Why was she nice, Michael Walker, to Serena when Serena beat her? Because Serena beat her ass.
Let's go.
Serena's from Compton, don't forget.
Straight out of
She'll
Compton.
kick her ass. That's why.
Straight out of Compton. All right, so
All right, let's go back to some
please
comments.
make this happen. Please make this happen.
Adam says Sabalenka is like a motor truck times 10 times.
Hey, Carla's nickname in high school was Diesel.
No, her mouth he's talking about. This guy said Pliskova played the best match I've seen her play. Good for her. She deserves to be in a final. She should have won a slam already, you know?
Indeed.
So good for her. I did not want to see Sabalenka in the final, but I think that Barty would have had an easier time with Sabalenka because there is no variety there. B-Dog said, watch the college tennis match last week. 0 screaming.
Excellent.
Derek Edwardson said Cliff Drysdale is an awful commentator. Should have retired 10 years ago.
Good point.
I disagree. I like Cliff. I like Cliff Drysdale. I like what he has to say. I've listened to his comments.
I can't say anything either way because I know who you're talking about, but I can't say anything good or bad because I don't recall anything at all.
Ellis Fire says professional players not much better at handling defeat compared to juniors. Yeah, she looks like a junior. Like, how you gonna go pout? Somebody kicked your ass in 3 sets. You won the first one 7-5, and you got your butt beat 6-4, 6-4. Give that person props. Give the person respect because they beat your screeching ass.
That's right.
Just saying.
But I still want to see this boxing match.
William Spencer said, let me guess, do these sick days come around the hard defeats at a big tournament?
Probably,
yeah.
I got a clue.
Fiance 76 said, agree with you, Carla. Never like Sabalenka's sulky vibe whenever she loses a point. Yeah. Jose P says, Sabalenka grunts would disorient you during the fight.
Yeah, it could. Well, she'd be like, yeah. We can finish a move on your ass.
Oh, yeah.
Bring it up, down, left, right, B8.
Adam Gardia said, well, Sabalenka won Madrid and she just went down. Okay, married TL, haven't heard from you in a long time. Sabalenka and Barty always had long, difficult matches. I think Barty will have it easy against Pliskova. I think her variety is going to be tough. Don't you think that Pliskova is going to have a hard time hitting flat?
Don't laugh at me.
Who feels more of the pressure?
Don't laugh at me here, but I think Pliskova wins her first major.
It could happen. It's not laughable. I mean, it is better than Djokovic against the rest of the field. That could happen.
Yeah. Look, again, right now.
You know what? We should put Sabalenka against Djokovic. Let's see how the serve would handle Sabalenka's grunt. So I'm just curious. How would he handle that? Would he meditate or would he roar back? I don't know.
I think he would meditate and then roar. He would kind of, encapsulate it. Half yang and half roar.
He'd probably look at her, give her one of those looks like, I will destroy you.
I destroy you.
Yeah.
Victor Drago, I destroy you.
Mm-hmm. Michael Walker says, Pliskova earned my respect when she beat Venus Williams in the U.S. Open, saving match points. Then beat Serena the next match. She was playing incredible tennis. Yeah, she was.
Exactly.
I think everyone thought she would have a slam by now.
Yeah.
This guy 1000 said, if Pliskova can serve the way she did, then she's in with a shot. Yeah, I agree. Yeah. She would have to serve really well and try to finish the match quickly.
Yeah. Well, not necessarily quickly. But
I don't think she can afford to go to 3 sets.
And she doesn't need to go away.
Yeah, she doesn't need to go to 3 sets.
She doesn't need to get down and then go away.
Mm-hmm.
If she gets down, she needs to keep playing her game and keep moving forward. Again, I've been a big Pliskova fan. I had picked Pliskova on my fantasy team Again, we don't win these things; we give them to you. But for almost 3 years, I've picked Pliskova on every one of my teams. Didn't do it this time. I think someone wrote us a message the other day that they have picked someone every single time. Oh, her catch, Stefanizovic in Serbia. He messaged us personally. By the way, if you ever want to message us personally and send us a picture or something, and you can't do that on YouTube, I think that's something that YouTube should work on. But a lot of you, so many of you, message us, either text message or Facebook Messenger or Instagram Messenger or whatever. But you can catch up with us on Instagram at 5K Tennis. You can catch up with us on Facebook at 5K Tennis. You can catch up with us on Facebook as well under our names, which is Justin, Justin, space Davis. No, it's Justin space Carla with a C. So Justin space Carla, Carla, space Davis, Davis. You can catch up with us that way. And then text message her, because I never check my phone. United States rates apply. Area code 251. So 1-251-404-0011. And that way we can share pictures and we can show them, because again, our motto for the show.
Twitter 5K Tennis 1.
Twitter 5K Tennis 1, and personal email in case you don't want anybody to see it.
5K Tennis.
5K Tennis at mail.com. 5K Tennis at mail.com.
Ryan Mason says, should Pliskova try to get to the net? I believe so. I don't understand someone with a big serve and five shots and a long reach. Why wouldn't they try to get there?
Exactly.
Yeah. This guy said it was a serving exhibition today. Both players serve a combined 30-something aces, but Pliskova was returning amazing today, feasting on Sabalenka's serve.
Feasting. I love that word. Good. Feasting. It sounds like carnage.
Mm-hmm. Derek Edwards said Pliskova has been moving better. Winner Sasha Bajin has helped with that. Yeah, that's true. She was getting to certain shots that I've never seen her get to, because she's like olive oil from Popeye. Doesn't really move well.
Yeah. Now one thing I want to bring up is Carla mentioned like about 10 minutes ago or so that Barty was pleasing to watch. I jotted it here. She said Barty is pleasing to watch.
She's very pleasing.
Now why is being pleasing to watch important? When Carla and I go out and we're either recruiting people for college coaches that we know, or whether we are sizing up our own children's or students' opponents during a tournament, walking down the courts, hey, I know my kids over here, I know their game, I know my students there, whatever, let me go size up everybody else. One of the first things that we look for is a pleasing game, okay? If I know my students and child's performance level, I'm trying to size up everybody else's. If you watch a tennis player play and their game isn't very pleasing to watch, generally, and not all the time, but generally that player versus a pleasing to watch player, more variety and not just one gear, in my opinion, has a little bit better advantage. Now, as we become adults, by the way, I'm talking like USTA 4-5, 4-0, mixed doubles and men's singles. Sometimes the ugliest game in the world will beat you because it's just different as you get to be our age, right?
Yeah.
I have been beaten. I personally would challenge any player for any singles match on any day at any time and just give it my best. And don't care win or lose, but I can tell you in my adult men's open playing career, men's open tournaments, men 4-5 tournaments, whatever, 5-0 tournaments, I have been beaten by some of the ugliest games on the planet. Right?
I've seen it too. I've seen it when I play with my dad doubles and stuff. There's some people out there that you're like, how in the hell
did I just lose to that guy?
How did they hit that shot? And you're like, what the hell? Where did you learn that shot? But it's effective.
So it's effective. So anyway,
we see that a lot in men's leagues and women's leagues.
Women's leagues, yeah.
We see that a lot.
You have this great game, and this person comes out here and just lollipops the ball, and somehow they find a way
serves
to
with a forehand, yeah.
Yeah, it happens, but in the pro ranks, generally this doesn't happen.
This doesn't happen, yeah.
So what I'm saying is when you're walking down courts, looking at games and looking at people at the pro level, the more pleasing game to watch, I feel like, has the better advantage. Now, who has the more pleasing game between Barty and Pliskova? Easy answer.
Pliskova's game is
Barty is more pleasing.
Yeah, it's more pleasing, but Pliskova's game is not ugly.
It's not ugly, but...
No, technically she has a great looking serve. Her forehand is just flat. That's how she hits her shot. It's good. It's proper. Her backhand is proper. You know, it's her strokes are proper. There's nothing wrong with her strokes. You know.
Yeah, a couple things.
Who's smarter?
Couple things. Barty deserves respect. First Wimbledon final. She's 5'5", by the way. We talked about that. She's only 25. She turned pro in 2011. Her wins and losses this year, 2021, are 33-6, 11 career titles. Wimbledon record now is 11-4. Third major semifinal, first at Wimbledon, and now first final, right? Mm-hmm. 2019 French Open champion. Barty run to the final. Okay, who has Barty been through? Okay, she played Suarez Navarro in the first round. Love you, Suarez.
3 sets.
Best of luck to you, my lovely one-handed backhand player. We wish you well. She says she was going to retire, but I hope to see her again. She played Pliskova, then Siniakova, then Krejcikova. A lot of ovas. Then Tomjanovic, and then Kerber, and then now Pliskova. She did not have it easy. She definitely didn't have it easy.
No.
Okay.
Let's go back to some comments. Jose P said, very general question. Oh, B-Dog's comment's pretty funny. Glad Pliskova's married when then Sasha can stay focused on tennis. Jose P said, very general question here, but how effective is coaching when players are already at the highest level?
I'm sorry, what's the question?
He said, very general question here, but how effective is coaching when players are already at the highest level?
It's kind of like, why does Roger Federer or Novak Djokovic need a coach?
I think it's just more of a mental thing.
Yeah.
Someone there on your side.
Someone to yell at,
encourage
to
you.
vent at.
Yeah, exactly. Almost like a psychiatrist?
Like a sports psychologist, a punching bag, if you will. I personally think that everyone on Novak Djokovic's team outside of Vajda and his wife is punching bags.
Yeah.
I think Vajda.
I think he'll kick his ass if he yells.
Yeah, Vajda might kick Djokovic's ass, and I think that's what makes the relationship prosperous. Djokovic is very electric. He's animated, and I think a perfect medicine for that is his coach Vajda and his wonderful wife. And I think that's what makes Team Djokovic so deadly. He has a short fuse. He can really get pissed off, but with Vajda up there looking at him like, I will destroy you. I will destroy you. Cool down, Djokovic. Cool down, Nole. Cool down. And with the wife over there, look like she's about to stress out. I think he finally collects his thoughts. So I think that's why their team is so dynamic, because it covers all spectrums of the colors, and it all comes down into one white nucleus. Yeah. And that's why his team is dangerous from top to bottom.
Ryan Mason says Pliskova won 80% of her second serve points. Incredible stat. She only dropped her serve 4 times in the entire tournament. That's great. This guy 1000 said Pliskova showed what can happen when there's not much pressure. Wimbledon final when everyone wrote her off. Well said, this guy. Ryan says, I think Barty's going to win the final. Pam Cotter says, how long do you think Coco will stick with her dad as a coach? I don't think that she should stick too long with her.
And surely there's more coaches involved.
Yeah, I'm sure there is. She needs more variety. You want to be successful, you need more variety. Even Serena had to change.
And you know it's hard. And Carl and I, we have 5 children. You all know this, hence the name 5K Tennis. It's hard to let go of your children when you yourselves are coaches and high-level players. What am I talking about? Okay, well, Carl and I have raised our 5 children, and they're all players. Even my 5-year-old is hitting one-handed backhands from the baseline with regular balls. The problem is this. Carl and I will go to different tournaments elsewhere, and there'll be a teaching pro somewhere. And Carl and I will look at each other and be like, geez, don't you think that one day maybe we should let them take a lesson from someone else because they rebel against us? In other words, if I say, stop hitting your forehand that way, and then they're like, they wouldn't do that to someone else. So sometimes you want them to take a lesson from someone else as to they won't give them attitude, right? Mm-hmm. The problem is that every time we observe, Carl and I, we go to tournaments all the time. We coach a high school tennis team. We're at tournaments often. When we go to tournaments, we're just dressed like this. No one knows who we are. And we observe other pros coaching. We observe them. Okay, how is this pro doing? Maybe we could bring him here one week for a lesson if the pro's any good. And all we see is the pro just feeding, not doing too much, just sitting there. And do you see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So the thing is at what point do parents that come from players or parents that are players that have children that are aspiring to play, at what point do we trust to turn over the training to our own child? Because personally, no disrespect in this area, I don't know one pro in this area. No disrespect to anyone out there if you're in the area, but I say this openly. There's not one pro in this area that I know, and I hate to say it, I know of or have seen or know all of them. Maybe a scattering I haven't, but there's not one coach that I don't think I can outcoach. And that's, I think, is the problem.
Well, I just don't want to waste money on someone
that can't outcoach me.
Feeding balls.
Yeah, feeding balls.
For that, I'll get a ball machine.
Yeah, we talked about this a lot. You know,
I mean, if someone's just gonna feed them balls, I'm just gonna get a ball machine.
And then also,
and then just hit Patrick Matagua's voice, and maybe that'll work. I don't know.
Yeah, one of the pieces of equipment that Carl and I have had in our inventory coaching, I've had since 1984, but Carl and I have used it since day one, and that's a ball mower, and it's an expensive investment. But instead of feeding 200 balls. Giving the player, 20 minutes of work, and then forcing him to grab a hopper and then pick up balls for 20 minutes. A lot of coaches, I think, use ball pickup to relinquish time, and then, time's up. Guess what? You spent 30 minutes on the court and 30 minutes picking up balls, get lost. I think this is shitty. I don't think that picking up balls should be part of anyone's lesson. I think the clock should stop. And I know a lot of coaches out there that would see me, especially maybe the ones that have coached for 30, 40 years, and they're just tired. I get it. I am too. Get a ball mower. So they can sit down and get water, and by the time they're done drinking water, you'll have all the balls picked up simply by walking around the court with this thing that picks up balls and puts them in the shoe. Pick the thing up, dump it in your basket.
All right. Derek Edwards says that how is Carlos Suarez Navarro the only player to take a set off Barty? I think it was the first match. The first match, nervous, playing somebody that is going to retire, that's just gone through cancer.
Or maybe is it that Carlos Suarez Navarro is one of the very few people still on tour on the female side with a one-handed backhand and has variety and can take the slice that Barty gives with the one hand and say, you know what, I play with one hand too. This fits right in my cover. I got this tool in my toolbox. Let me slice it right back to you. And I think that's why.
Spicy Salami said, are Fed and Serena going to retire together after the U.S. Open? I don't think they'll retire together. We'll see different retirements.
Speaking of Roger Federer, let me break topic for a second. Can you pull up that message I sent you a minute ago? Shout out real quick and topic that came from someone I was chatting with randomly about 10 minutes before the show started. Okay? This topic has to do with Roger Federer. Okay? Mm-hmm. So sorry to interject. This has to do with Roger Federer.
Okay.
I saw a comment. We got off the court. Anyway, long story short is there was a message from Rodrigo Odon Salcedo.
Cisneros.
Can you say that again?
Rodrigo Odon Salcedo Cisneros.
Can you read what he wrote in terms of Roger Federer?
Federer needs to increase his fitness level and work on his mental fortitude. I don't think he will ever be able to beat Novak again, but he might go deep in tournaments if he recuperates.
Fair enough. No harm done. It's simple. But do you know what my mind said when I read Rodrigo's comment? Do you think Federer would be in a manic depressive state, always playing for second place moving forward? I mean, he had 20 majors. He has 20 majors forever, and now Nadal's caught him. Djokovic is about to catch him, and now with a lesser head-to-head against both those guys, now Federer's third place. So could you imagine Roger Federer being the GOAT for so long? Nadal catches him, but they're buddies, so okay, I can share that GOAT with my buddy. But now here comes the nemesis that comes in that's about to get his 20. And now that would put him in third place. Tied with Nadal. Nadal owns head-to-head there. Djokovic owns head-to-head over both and would have 20 as well. It makes him GOAT. In fact, I've preached about it for years. Won't get into that here. Wouldn't that be depressing to someone like Roger always showing up for a tournament, playing for second place, number one? Number two, Rodrigo mentions he needs to increase his fitness at 40. I'm 43. I'll be 44 in November. 20 de noviembre. Is that right?
20 de noviembre. Damn.
Let's go. I just spoke Españitos. Let's go. Hablamos. All right. But it's really hard for me to increase any type of fitness at 44. I ruptured my patellar tendon, blew my leg out, lost all my quad muscle, and I'm still trying to build it back nearly 2 years later. I'm still trying to quicken up. I can't jump for overheads anymore. So if Ryan Mason's out there, by the way, if he's out there, all you got to do to beat me when we play is just chip it bring me in and then lob me because I'm not going to jump for
Ryan
it.
makes it say maybe part of Roger's legacy could be that he advanced the game so much to help grow players like Rafa and Novak.
Yeah.
It's tough to increase your fitness level at 40. I'm just saying, I'm tired.
It is.
Like we taught this morning, and I'm tired. I gotta
Beat
go
down.
back.
We got to go back.
I'm glad someone just canceled their lesson because
Who just canceled?
No, well, so I could.
At what
move
time
up
was hers?
5, so I could move up Asti at 5.
Okay, so we're good. We can go a little longer. Yeah.
It's only
Okay.
3:30. I don't know how much longer we can
and
go.
so as we get older, and this is for Ryan Mason. Ryan Mason came and played and beat our son Christopher yesterday. The thing why I always talk smack now when I play other guys is I'm not gonna jump. I'm not gonna do it. My knee has been fully reconstructed. I'm gonna stay on the ground. So if I can compete with, talk a little smack and beat someone without ever jumping, then that's great. But right now at this point in my life, 44 and a leg that's not the same physically, you can look at it. I'm not gonna jump. So I should be beaten. That's all I'm saying, and that's why I have so much fun with it.
By the way, Ryan and I won 3-0. I think that Ryan, you and I maybe need to switch partners. I think we're too much for Justin and Christopher.
Well, it's not that. It's, just, it's that
just-
Chris and I are both bad doubles players.
Then
I
we
don't
can
care
have-
for it.
It's 3-0. Ryan, don't you think that
It was bad. It was 6-0, 6-3.
6-0-6-2, and it was just bad. And so I decided in my head, I don't know, maybe you don't agree or something, but maybe we need to give
No,
these guys a chance.
I would always stay with the same teams
Why?
no matter the score because look, I'm a bad doubles player.
No.
I don't have the
think
mind
it would
for
be.
it.
I think it would be a lot more
I
competitive
don't
if we
care.
switch.
I would rather just stick to until we win it or not. The reason why is it different for a doubles player than a singles player? Because if you're in singles, you have a player and you have passing lanes and so forth. I mean, I've played doubles my whole life, but never like really studied it. So when I look up and see an opponent, I'm immediately trying to strategize from a singles perspective. In doubles, I hit the ball and there's someone else over there. So my strategy it's way off, and I've never really studied long enough.
Okay,
to
so we'll keep
perfect
the same
that.
partners.
I
So
would love
Ryan
to just
said-
keep the same partner.
Ryan said we play in 13 days. Justin, are you ready to sweat?
I'll be just fine.
So then Ryan, you got me, and I promise you, I won't be easy.
Yeah, I'll be just fine for that. I look forward to it. But there's no way you're going to be able to play 2 competitive sets once or 2.
No, we'll leave the singles and no doubles next week because
Yeah,
it'll
look,
be almost impossible to finish.
Is he going to have the fitness for that? Because look, I'm not going to step on the court if it's not 2 out of 3 full sets. I'm not going to play. You and Chris played an 8-game pro set. Personally, if that would have gone 2 out of 3 sets, I think Chris might have had the upper hand there. Just saying.
Because he's younger.
Because he's younger,
Yeah.
but I'm not going to play that match against you, my wonderful friend Ryan.
This guy is so cool, by the way.
Look,
Ryan is
he's
one of the
an awesome
coolest
dude.
guys we've ever met.
Yeah.
The sweetest guy. I feel like he's my other brother that I didn't have.
Yeah, like him and Bill Palmer are like my tightest brothers, and Mike Mixon. So that says a lot. However, I'm not going to play that. I'm not even going to spin the racket for the coin toss. If it's not agreed, we are going to play 2 out of 3 complete sets. That means not a pro.
That means you got to win in 2, right?
That means you got to play the whole match, or I'm not going to play because I'm a habitual
He
slow
said,
starter.
I'm good 2 out of 3. I'll be there.
All
See,
right.
with me, we could do 2 out of 3
But
third tiebreaker.
but
We could do
you can't do that after her.
No, you're playing first. We're
Just
we'll
another
play
day.
Another time.
Oh,
yeah,
I thought you meant
no.
same day. I'm like,
No.
damn.
We'll play another time. I'm in no rush. It's not like Ryan's going anywhere. He's younger than us, you know? I mean,
He's
we're
going
the ones that have to worry. We're older.
See, when I play the first set, man, look, I'm used to losing the first set. And then after that, we'll see where it goes.
All right, so there's a question here. This guy said, Fed was on top for so long and people are still talking about Rafa Novak alongside him. Now they can catch him. Doesn't automatically relegate him to the third. Spicy Salami said, Justin, has Berrettini proved himself to you?
Maybe.
I believe you said that he hasn't shown you anything to prove. His top 10 ranking in the semifinal, in this semifinal, the proof you needed?
Not really.
Mm-hmm.
It's a Berrettini seems like a very fine young man. I've never seen him, and look, I don't.
I guess the proof will be, who does he play?
Can I finish the thought?
But who does he play?
I don't even know.
Oh, he plays Hurkacz. Okay.
Whatever. Okay. Doesn't matter. I really hope Hurkacz wins that match. I think right now, look, for a couple years we've talking about Hurkacz and how he should be in a place like this. In my opinion, right now, this tournament, at least based off the past couple of matches, I think Hurkacz has a really good shot. Berrettini, for me, just reminds me, and you guys may just want to shoot me and say, what are you talking about? But for some reason, I don't know if it's his energy. I don't know if it's his kind of race to this top 10. It reminds me of Jack Sock's run, and what was it? They play the same type of the strategy. It's very Jack Sock-ish, and Jack Sock is a smuck. He's not a great tennis player.
But Berrettini's been pretty consistent.
But he's better than Jack Sock, obviously. But their patterns are very similar. The two hands on the racket. I don't care for someone that hits two hands on the racket on the backhand side. Yes, I like Djokovic a lot, but I still don't care for his two-handed backhand. I think after Federer, goes away, I think I'm going to really be hoping for Musetti, the young Italian with the one-hander. It's just hard for me to watch a man play and really get into him if he has two hands on the racket on the backhand side. I just don't care for it.
All right, next question.
Just don't.
Guokfi said, Carla, what do you think of a 5-set tennis for women during the quarters to finals?
Biologically, it can't happen.
Nah, I think we would see a disaster.
Yeah, we've talked about this before.
Many times.
But he didn't hear it, so let's answer that for him. I think there's like 500 or 600 videos on our. We've done like 600 of these videos. They're all
from
there.
The beginning of time.
And we've talked about this a couple of times. The woman is a different animal in a respectful way. Our chromosomes are different. Our cells are different. Every cell in our body is different. There's things that women go through on a monthly basis that take energy away, that cause bodily fluids to be low. And I'm not saying that in a jokingly way. I grew up in a doctor's family. It's very important. There's mental things that go on in the female. If you're a husband, then you know very well that, someone like Carla just flipped the script on you. She'll be like, hey, they'd be like, what? Freaking slap you with a damn sandal out of nowhere. You're like, damn, baby, just gave me a hug. Now you just snap me with a damn sandal. Where the hell did that come from? Oh, I just felt like that. But, men are from Mars and women are from Venus. But all jokes aside, 3 out of 5 sets is a lot. If a woman played 5 sets on a Thursday, had to come back, if a woman played 5 sets on a Tuesday, took a day off, played another 5 sets on a Thursday, and then maybe some cyclical biological algorithm began, and now they're tired, and the mentality changes, and then now you got someone smacking you with a damn sandal.
Even though I've never done that ever in my life.
You tell me you never smacked me with a sandal. You're going to tell all these people that. You have smacked me with a damn sandal.
When?
She has launched them across the damn tennis court. She has taken off her damn tennis shoe in the middle of a damn match, or not match, but
I'm laughing because it's funny.
That's not funny.
That to my
she
kids,
has pulled off her shoe and thrown her damn shoe across the damn court.
I've done that to my kids, but never you. Never you. Never.
Okay, maybe not me.
Never you.
But I have seen your shoe.
I've never laid a hand on you. Why?
Well, of course you never laid a hand on me.
Then that's the same thing as a sandal. Why?
No, it's a projectile. A sandal is a projectile.
It's disrespectful.
Are you
My
serious?
kids are different. Have you thrown anything at me? No.
You know how this girl sometimes will light up into my ass? And she's talking about that would be disrespectful?
Justin,
are you serious?
if I hit you with something, then you have to question yourself.
Look, there are certain times Carla has been pregnant or...
There's times I've wanted to throw someone.
There has been some times, Carla's been pregnant a lot of times, a lot of like popcorn, popping them out like popcorn. There's been a lot of popcorn shooting out of here. Okay, she gets all upset. Look, I am telling you, there has been damn times where I have seen Carla out of nowhere launch a projectile off her foot and make contact. She is
not with you.
I've seen some damn shrapnel lying around here.
Not with you.
She will hit your ass with a sandal. I swear.
Not with you.
Flip flop.
Now one time you did.
Pop. Get back. Right back on my foot. You want some more? Pop.
Now one time you did run away from me.
Hauling ass.
Because you're like, I'm scared of you. You're going to kick my ass.
Because she's got the short, strong legs. So I know I'll outrun her. So I just get my stride going.
All the kids were laughing. They're like,
see you. She's like, sandals flying. She's pulling sandals out of nowhere. Pulling sandals out of her ass. She's like, whoo, whoo, whoo. Like damn ninja stars. And I'm like...
So you should have taught the lady from Djokovic. I got hit with the throat.
Yeah, I get the throat hat.
Stop. All right, let's go back to another comment.
Yeah, come on.
Berrettini is a bit
Yeah.
like Zangief in Street Fighter. Laugh out loud. I don't know who that is. Zangief. Do you know who that is?
Yeah, Street Fighter was on the original Street Fighter when it was like Nintendo 64 or something like that. Oh, this is JPD2, by the way. This is my youngest
Get
son.
that out of your mouth, baby.
Hey man, can you give me some respect up here? Let's go show you let's show these kids what this kid's all about, right? This is JPD2. Can you show them your muscles and guns, or are you too shy? You come up here and you want to represent, but you're just like bailing out.
Don't say peace. And my mom used to hit me with a chancla. William Spencer said, just don't throw it at anyone. I'm good with my kids. Like, they can run in between things and I still catch them. Just saying. All right, are we done?
Well, I don't really have much left, do I?
No, tomorrow's the men's semifinals. We got Djokovic against Chapo Rapper.
Oh, let's predict that. Let's predict that. All right, here we go. Answer it up. Djokovic versus Shapovalov.
Is that really a question?
All right, I think Djokovic may give him a set just to make him feel better about his future career until he's retired. Don't be shocked
Oh, okay.
if Djokovic loses a set.
Yeah,
tomorrow.
that's what here. This guy says Djokovic in 4. Michael Wong says Novak in 4.
Now, the Berrettini-Hurkacz match, I'm really interested in because you know what I'm going to do tomorrow? I'm actually going to sit down and I'm going to watch, and I'll record it. We have to teach, and I have to take my dog to the vet to get some staples out of her leg. But at some point tomorrow, I will definitely be watching the Berrettini-Hurkacz match. Hopefully, I can fast forward through commercials. Carla, Miss Sandal Smacker. But nonetheless, I really hope Hurkacz wins this, only because I think Hurkacz is more dangerous to Djokovic. And the final, Hurkacz has taken a set from Djokovic before. It was 2019. I think I remember the score. Djokovic won the first set 7-5. Hurkacz won a tiebreaker 6-7, and then Djokovic took it 6-4, 6-2, I think, and that was 2019. But I would like to see that again because I don't think Berrettini will even win a set. I just don't. Okay. So I think, and I hope it will be a Hurkacz Djokovic final, and Djokovic will easily lift his 20th major title, thus becoming the absolute GOAT by fact, tied with the other two, as you all say, Fadal. He'll be tied with them, but owns the head-to-head, thus making him the GOAT. Hands down, there's no writer that can justify anything else at this point. So all of those that thought he would never be, get ready for that if he lifts his 20th trophy. I think Hurkacz or Berrettini will have something to say about it, but I think Hurkacz has more to say. Fair enough? Schedule for tomorrow. The men's semifinals tomorrow, which are some of our biggest shows that we ever do. The men's semifinals. Can I see that, buddy? This is for Yen Hao Kor. Little JD2 got Yen Hao Hor. He got a new Jurassic Park toy. How do I turn this guy on?
Which top head, baby?
Oh.
That's Chapo rapping.
That's Chapo. His rapping sucks worse than that.
William Spencer said, please, Lord, let there be a miracle and Chapo win. Laugh out loud.
Okay, so schedule tomorrow. Carla, our lesson schedule for tomorrow is what? Early.
Tomorrow's Friday.
What's our lesson schedule?
You already know. Tomorrow is, you'll be at the vet. Well, I'll be teaching.
Okay, who's
8, 9, 10, and then we got to figure out a way to buy food because our son's coming on Saturday. And then in the afternoon, there's lessons.
Oh!
So it's going to be a late show,
Our
guys.
oldest son of 5 children who you have not seen will be home from the Air Force Academy this weekend. His flight comes in
late on Saturday night.
Saturday night at 11 o'clock p.m. I haven't seen 11 o'clock p.m. in like 2 years. I'm going to see it Saturday night. He comes, after the women's final, his flight will land in Mobile. We'll drive an hour there. He wants Waffle House for dinner, by the way. It was the only place open that late, but they don't have Waffle House where he is in Colorado Springs, so Waffle House. And then, so we'll be up all night, and then the men's final will be that morning, Sunday morning. So our son, Jonathan, will be here. We'll make him do a cameo and pop in here. Maybe we can put him right in the middle. He probably won't want to do that, though. But you will meet our son, Jonathan, after the men's final on Sunday. So tomorrow, I guess what I'm grabbing from Carla is we have to teach all morning. I have a dog that has cancer, so I'm getting stuff cut off of her all the time. So I have to take her, get staples out, come back. She'll be teaching. We'll meet in the middle. Then we got to go to the grocery store.
Now we got to teach again.
And we got to go to Mississippi to the grocery store. So we got to drive an hour to the grocery store, an hour back, and then teach lessons after that. So what time's our last lesson done? So the day hasn't stopped, right? Been early, dog, groceries, here, there, everywhere. Now we're going back out to the court again after Mississippi and back. And what time do we end? 6 o'clock?
Yeah.
All right, so 6 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time would be when our last lesson ends. We come back, we shower, we make sure the children's are good to go. Make sure the children's are
I can't record Jonathan versus Chris because Jonathan broke his right wrist. So.
Yeah, Jonathan just came out of surgery on his right wrist. He shattered his wrist skateboarding in Colorado, and he has plates inserted in his hand. It will return to 100%, but right now he hasn't even gone through physical therapy yet. Definitely not ready. I know the feeling. I've broken my arm twice in the past 3 years. Not ready yet, not even close.
Well, we're going to try to record each other too. When we could do that, when Jonathan's here, have him record us.
Oh, you and I can play?
Yeah.
Okay, so maybe the next match that we download is Carla and I against one another. The only problem when you record matches is, if you're just watching a match with no real sound or interaction, we would have to call it our score the whole time. We would have
I
to
bet
call
you Jonathan is smart enough to do it.
But I don't think Jonathan would hone in for an hour or longer and say that was wide, 15-30, 30-15, 40-15. It takes time. That's why people like Cam Williams out there, I've said this before, that do the play-by-play stuff as well being on film. It's tough to do. During Ryan Mason and Chris's match, every second, I wanted to watch the match, but I couldn't because I had to watch the camera. And then I had to keep scoring. I'm like 15-30 and 15-40 and then pause it. I don't want to have time here. So it's a constant, dedicated thing for as long as the match goes. And I don't know if I want Jonathan to even have to go through that, or even waste our time even thinking he can, but maybe he can.
He's done it before. He's done our white tech stuff.
Look, maybe you should find the timestamp on that when we get done, and then send it to him so he knows what to expect.
Okay.
All right. Anyway, guys, we're done. We will see you tomorrow night, no matter what. We always do a show. It's our vow to you. We will do a show tomorrow live at some point, but it may be at any time. I'm just gonna put it that way. So turn your notifications on. That's all I can tell you.
Make it interesting. Carla dresses Barty, Justin dresses Sabalenka. Who cares about the score? Hell no.
We'll see.
He's not dressing like a girl.
Look, if Jonathan,
I'm gonna kick his ass.
Well, we can't do the men's final Sunday, so we won't do that head to head that day. But it could be any day after that, as long as Jonathan feels comfortable and he can at least tell everybody the score.
He will. Come on, he goes to the Air Force Academy.
All right, but
you don't have to be a genius to do that.
Yeah, it just takes a little patience, and he's just going to be coming off an airplane. But nonetheless, if that happens, I will beat her. I will beat her easily, and you guys can laugh about it after the match.
Alrighty.
Okay.
All right.
See ya.
Peace.
Oh, he has his T-Rex. He wanted to show you his T-Rex. Can you show them the T-Rex? You're just going to bring it up here? You don't even show anybody? Is that good? That's all you're going to do? You can't tell him hello or anything?
Nah, he's in his own.
All right, buddy. He's got his dinosaur underwear on too. Let's go. All right, buddy.
Adios.
See you guys.
Mañana. See you mañana.